through the market right now, and this culture is so rich. There's so many new sights and smells, but as a vet student and an animal lover, I look around and I see so many dogs walking around, scrounging for food. They're skinny, they're suffering, and they need help. I've read about research in the United States done by vets trying to figure out why animals are relinquished or abandoned and end up in shelters, and they've found that most of the time it's due to a break in the human-animal bond. And I'd love to know how that applies in Peru and what the human-animal bond consists of here. So I think it's important not to just judge the situation from an outsider's perspective, but to get the local people's opinions on the situation.
Ahora están en la calle, sobre todo en el mercado indio que se le llama, ¿no? Porque sus dueños no tienen el dinero suficiente para poder cuidar de ellos.
Right now we're in a vet clinic in Huaraz, and we're trying to find a vet to interview about their opinion of dogs in the city.
Claro, es un problema en la medida de que dentro de lo que nosotros creemos de que pueda conducir de alguna manera esta crianza, podría haber sido la municipalidad, el alcalde, pero no lo hace porque ni siquiera puede resolver otros problemas, ¿no? Entonces, para Huaraz es cada día un problema porque malogra el ornato. Los perros abandonados se reproducen en la calle. Los veterinarios que hay acá son de animales mayores, dedicados a lo que es caballo, ganado vacuno.
We're on our way right now into the Cordillera Blanca to do a 9-day trek, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful in the world. And we'll be able to see the lifestyle of the people in that area, which is very rural and traditional, and how the animals live in that setting versus how they live in a city like Huaraz. So the people here love their animals, they live with them and rely on them. They have sheep and cows and pigs and burros and dogs. And out in the countryside you can see they rely on them more than they do in towns like Huaraz.
En las montañas, como soy en el caso mío, por ejemplo, tenemos una tradición que es vivir en conjunto con los animales en nuestras casas, ¿no? Ustedes han visto en las montañas de que los perros ahí trabajan.
From what we've learned, it seems like there are a few different lifestyles for dogs in this area of Peru. When you get into the more rural areas, dogs are part of the working infrastructure, they have a purpose, but they are also part of the family. And in some ways it's good, they're free, they're needed, but they also are lacking things like medication and quality food, just like some of the people in those areas. And when you come into a city like Huaraz, there are pets that are very well cared for with high quality dog food and veterinary care and they live in the homes. And then there are also the street dogs that are homeless, have been abandoned, or have been born on the street and live in the markets and survive off of whatever food they can find. While we were traveling in the mountains, we saw people and dogs living in a partnership that's probably lasted for hundreds of years. But this lifestyle is dying. We met a lot of people who have children who've moved to developing cities like Huaraz for an education and a livelihood. And in this shift, the care of animals is getting left behind. The people that move to cities are confronted with a whole new set of life challenges, most of which don't require canine partners. And so dogs become a novelty. People don't rely on them anymore for their livelihood, aside from guarding the house or someone to greet them at the door. So I don't think most people know what the role of dogs is in this new situation. They're still working it out. And in the meantime, dogs are being let out by their owners into the streets because that's what they're used to doing. It's what they used to do in the countryside. So now you have pets and homeless dogs all out on the street. Most of them are not spayed or neutered. They're all copulating. The population is out of control. And you also have the issue of diseases spreading, which is threatening public health. People here love animals and they're concerned about all these dogs out on the street, but they don't know what to do about it. And the local government does acknowledge the problem, but they don't have the time or the resources to be able to deal with it in any humane way. And we've learned that they resort to setting out poison at night. There's a huge need for education here, for training of the vets, for teaching the local people how the situation could be different and some possible solutions, and for the local governments about methods of how to humanely decrease stray populations. So people like us from more affluent countries can try and bring these people what they need. There are volunteer groups that come to places like this and hold spay and neuter clinics and educate people about the benefits of spaying and neutering. And we may also be able to help the local government set up animal shelters.